Hey guys, hope you're all doing well still. So you've seen the Enfield video, the update on that. So I'm going to try and get a couple of more jobs out the road, so we've got a clear path to the frames and the Enfield build. So as you've all been following the oil pump that we're converting to a lamp, I thought I'd get a few bits done on that. As you can see, I have put some green paint on it. It's not the best finish, as I've done it with a rubbish brush, but I did film a bit of it, but I weren't really feeling it. I filmed it, that was sort of last week, so I've sort of binned it off, and we're going to pick it up from here. So what I'm going to do today, I found this chunk of alloy, which is about 12 mil thick. So I'm going to make a base on the base of the pump. So I'm going to mark it all out. Not quite sure I'm going to cut it yet. I'm going to probably do a test piece over here with a plasma cutter. If it cuts but it's rough, which I imagine it will be, I'm probably just going to cut it sort of away from my line, then dress it back in so it's nice and neat. So I think it'll be better with a base on. We'll put some countersink bolts up through the bottom, some brass down dead nuts, so it'll give it like an appearance it's bolted down. What else we got to do? I've got the bulb come. I can't even remember what I've done in the last video. I have no clue. How do you get this damn thing out? So we've got the bulb holder, so you can sort of see where it's going to go. I bought these threaded tubes, so we can put the holder down through the base there and bolt it up. And then with the cable, I've got a story about, well, not a story about the cable. I might get into trouble with the cable. Yeah, probably will. I'll show you in a minute. So anyway, we've got the bulb holder, which is going to sit in there. Now it'll bolt down nicely with that bit of threaded tube. Oh, it's not doing up because that bit at the bottom ain't bolted in yet, and that all sort of holds the internal parts. So yeah, so there we go, that's that sorted. Also we'll build that up when I've got the base sorted. I don't know if you can see over there, we've got the top painted up. I put a new brass bolt in the top because the old one was steel. I thought I'd try and add a bit of brass to it so it'll look good with the green. What else we got? I'm still waiting for the brass rods, which I'm sort of, our postman hasn't come yet. It's like nearly 12 o'clock midday, still no postman. That's the joys of living in a village. Sometimes he's early, sometimes he's not. But anyway, I'm hoping he brings the brass rods today to make these bits out of, the side pieces, to sort of clamp the perspex tubing. But we've got things we can carry on with anyway till that arrives. What else have we got? Oh yeah, I tidied the oil feed tube up, and that's had a coat of clear lacquer on. I say the green paint ain't the best, but I'm gonna call it, it's the effect, like Grandad's been out onto the shop floor and he's painted everything for a year for the last 30 years. So it's a bit thick and bogging, but hey, it's it's 30 years of painting effect. That's how I'm gonna get away with it. We'll see. Anyway, that's done. That's ready to go back in. We've got to sort the spring out a little bit because that was bent, if you remember, if I did explain that. I've polished that little collar there, which all this sits in. So we'll start getting it together, but I'm going to cut the base first. Hopefully the plasma will do it, because it's going to take me forever else. So I've got this little clamp here, which the brass rod will pass through, that's got a hole in. That would have been to lock the cranking handle up with a small padlock. So that would have slid up one of the retaining rods and locked to the handle. So we'll tidy that up. I'm going to bare metal that and lacquer it when we've got all the metal nice and clean. I've got this nut to clean up, which is all over the damn place. That will go onto this first, which has all been cleaned up. Light coat of clear lacquer. So that'll go on. I don't think we're going to have any issues with like surface finishes on the bare metal as such, because it's going to be, I guess, when it gets sold, it'll end up in someone's man cave or house or whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I suppose it'll age over time. And I think that paint, my thick rubbish painting, might calm down a little bit. It's still soft. I think if I do another one, I am going to spray it. Definitely. So we got this nut to clean up and the base to cut out and that handle to clean up. In the meantime, fingers crossed, I hope the postman comes, because I've been waiting for them brass rods for over a week. And when I checked on eBay, I realised his delivery times were absolutely shocking, and I should have spotted that. So it's kind of my own fault. We've got brass nuts to put on everything. I've got some brass stone dead nuts coming for the base. So that's about where we are at the moment. There's still a couple of little bits to clean up properly. So, but we're getting there. Like I say, I want to get this tied up, finished and sorted. So I've got a clear run. I'm not going to be thinking about anything else with the frames and Dan's Enfield. As you know, I'm proper looking forward to that. Anyway, I'm going to mark this base up and see how the plasma cuts it, if it cuts it. So I've got a green pen because I don't want to go around with a black marker and end up with a permanent black line around this green base. So if I use a green one, we're not going to see that, because it will do, won't it? You know, your black marker, I'll pull that away and I'm going to have a big black line around it. So to eliminate that, a green marker. Make sure, yeah, that should be all right. We'll see how this plasma cuts. And what I'll do with the cable, if I sort of file this base out half and half, file the green part out, I probably should have done that before I painted it, shouldn't I? My head hasn't been with it, that's my excuse. Anyway, file half the alloy out, then half the green base, just a tiny bit under the cable size. It should just clamp it up slightly, not dangerously where it's splitting the casing and going to expose wires, just enough for it not to pull out. And I came up with an idea for the cable, because we're trying to make it sort of look oldie worldy. So I had a brainstorm on the cable. I don't know how it's going to go down the house, but I'll cross that bridge when we get to it. My hand's clean. She might not notice for a while. We'll see. Anyway, I thought, yeah, irons have a cloth braided cable on. Perfect. As most old stuff had cloth braided cables. So I thought, the iron, why not? And I don't think Trace watches the videos, so I've got to think of a story about where the iron's gone. I'll dream something up. Hey, I'm always in trouble. Always in the crap, the depth just varies. Sorry, Trace, but it would look good on the lamp. Maybe I could just put a different cable in this. Or I'll tell her I'll just put a cordless one. Yeah, that's what I'll do. It's a new iron. It's cordless. There we go. So there's the cable for it. And it's long enough, and it'll look good against the green. I might clean it off a tiny bit. It's not too bad, but it'll look all right, won't it? Instead of a black rubber one. So that's that sorted. I've just got to hide the iron. As you can probably tell, I don't use it, so I think we'll be all right. Anyway, this will be the only video that Tracy watches. That'd be just my luck. Right, let's cut this out. Yeah, still a bit sticky on the base there. I'm going to try the plasma, like I say, on the corner and see how it cuts. And then we'll mark it out, drill it, countersink the bottom, and hopefully the brass stone dead nuts will arrive. I'm waiting for them as well. Anyway, let's see how it cuts. Right, I've cut a corner off. It goes through it, it's very scruffy. But if I just go away from my line, just to get that chunk out, and then we'll dress it back into the line, and hopefully make it nice and tidy. Not the best. I think I might be setting a fire. Yeah. Fire! Oh, my scribble's gone. Oh well. Come on, before the shed burns down, think of something. Maybe I should have moved the towel. There we go. Sorted. Right. Yeah, I'll do this and see if I can set another fire going. That got it. Polished a hole in my gloves, look, doing all them bullets. And I had a shiny knuckle. Right, a bit of dressing back. Yeah, as you can see, it's a very scruffy cut. In fact, it's absolutely horrific. But it's got us close. We'll make it look good. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. but it'll get there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn the camera off and tidy it all up. So there's no need to watch me standing there with a grinder. So back in a minute. Well, back in an hour. Okay. I got a little bit sidetracked. This, rolling forward, this is day 2. I got a little bit sidetracked anyway, I've cut that out. What it is, I got myself another van. Well, the van that we do use is actually Tracy's, but I've got myself one. After my mum died, she had a little bit of money that me and my sisters shared out. Not great, she wasn't rolling in major wealth. So I thought, rather than the money go to waste, because being old, some of it was sort of in cash scattered around the house, hidden away. That's what a lot of older generation done. I thought, I don't want it to go to waste. Yes, I thought about getting another bike, because you know what it's like. You probably, some of you know, you put cash in the house and you take a 10 and a 20 and a few other bits, and yeah, give the kids a 5 or a 10 or whatever, and before you know it, it's like, where the hell did all that money go? I'm sure some of you have done it. I have. So I thought, no, I'm not going to let it go to waste. I want to do something with it. So I went and got a van. And I was going to get a bike, but I sort of changed my mind. I would have loved another bike. Don't we all? You can never have enough bikes. So I thought, as my mum absolutely adored the family, my 2 children, all the children in the family, everybody, she absolutely loved her family. She really did. I thought I'd do something that the family can enjoy. You're probably all thinking now, well, how the hell's the family going to enjoy a van? More so that they'd enjoy a motorcycle, because that would be just for me, wouldn't it? So could have gone on a family holiday, but that's out of the question at the moment. We can't do them sort of things. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to get a van and I'm going to convert it to a camper. So me and the children and everybody else can jump in it as and when we can and go and enjoy it. Everybody gets to enjoy it. I think my mum would have appreciated that, rather than me just buying a bike for myself and enjoying it myself. This way, that little bit of money's gone into something that everybody in the family can enjoy. That is my way of thinking anyway. Yes, we could have gone on holiday. It lasts a week, lasts 2 weeks, and the money's gone. This is there forever. I don't think that's selfish, is it? No, I don't think it is. And obviously I've told the kids about it. They're proper looking forward to, like, probably helping me with it, you never know. I doubt it, they're too busy doing this. But yeah, we can just drop of the hat, spur of the moment, phone the kids up, come on, let's clear off for the weekend or a week or whatever. And I'm going to try and design this van so we can all sleep in it comfortably. It'll have a bit of a kitchen area, and I will design it so I can still get a bike in there. So if I go and pick bikes up or drop bikes off, I can still squeeze one in. I don't think I'll go for what they call a garage area. The van's not massive, so I'm going to make it with some sunk-in ground anchors so we can still squeeze a bike in there, and my lengths of steel when I go and fetch them and stuff like that, because I think Tracy's going to sell her van now and get a little car to buzz around in. So I still want it sort of a usable van, but nicely kitted out, so me and the children can go away here and there, because they're growing up fast. We're going to be at a stage, or we're nearly at that stage actually, where it's totally uncool to be seen out with me. You know what they're like. Dad, stop it. Dad, don't say that. Dad, don't do that. Dad, you're embarrassing. I'm getting all that already. There you go. That's all part of growing up, I guess. So yeah, I got sidetracked when I was doing this because a part turned up for it. So I'm putting a couple of, it's not a bad van. I'm putting a couple of little bits right for it. One being, I went and filled it up with diesel the other day to be the guy in the garage come on the loudspeaker and tannoy, whatever you call it, start shouting at me. The diesel pouring out from under it. I was thinking it was taking a lot. Jesus Christ, how big's this tank? So it's spilling out from under the van. I thought, oh no. But on the top of the tank, luckily you can get to it in the cab of the van. There's the sort of a submerged pump. A great big plastic sort of nut on the top, it's huge. It had split and the pump was just floating around. And obviously I filled it up and the diesel just comes spewing out of that. So I had that part come, which I wanted to attend to straight away, obviously. Don't want to be spilling diesel on the road because that's not good for us guys on two wheels. So I very carefully drove home from the garage that day, trying to be careful how I went around the corners and stuff. So I got that part straight away. So I wanted to get that on pretty pronto because that sort of stuff can have people off bikes, can't it? I've had a couple of like sticky moments on diesel sort of thing that was like, whoa, but managed to stay on. It's had many a bloke off, hasn't it? But so anyway, I got sidetracked and that's why. But this is cut out roughly, looks a bit like a number plate holder, doesn't it? So I'm now going to tidy it up to the lines I've drawn on there, as you can see that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to the outside edge of that line so it just sits out a bit from the actual base of the pump. Then I'm going to try and sort of radius the edge a tiny bit. That is the plan. So hopefully I'll get nothing turned up for the van today and get sidetracked and we'll get a bit more of this done. You know what it's like when you're messing with a new toy. Sorry motor minks, my table's wobbling again. There we go. Should be telling me off. Right, let's sort that out and get it tidied up. Right, I might do chop the camera off, save my battery and come back to you when that's bit done and I won't get sidetracked. Right, we've got that about there. We've just got to tidy the edges up now. As you can see, it's standing proud of the side of the actual pump base. You can see that. Let's turn that compressor off. A minute. So the plan is now, obviously it's just roughed out with the grinder. We'll get all this edge tidied up and with it standing proud, we can sort of bevel, roll that edge so it's going up to the base. I think it'll just give it a better finish than if I'd just done it flush. Oh, we'll have a go at that. So yeah, I think now if I carefully go round it with a belt, just being careful. It'll take a while, but it'll look good. I know it's been a bit of a pain to cut, but it's just with the tools I've got. Probably would have been better with a bandsaw. See, that will definitely output in the radiuses in properly. I'll say properly, as good as we can. Some of them are sort of going off as well. Sort of at an angle, so we've got to dress that in so it will look better. The hardest part's going to be sort of radius in the edge, but we'll get to that. Okay, that's got it sort of dressed up with the belt. Now I'm going to sort of polish the edges in with the Scotch-Brite, but you notice I'm using a worn out one, so I can sort of press in a bit. Obviously with the big one they've got, what's this one got? 1, 2, 3, 4 sections, so you end up going into the wheel when they're sort of this big. So I'm using a worn out one so I can apply a bit of pressure and drag that out. So that's the belt finish. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll get it on that wheel now and try and get that a bit better. Oh, I ain't got the light on. How's that? I don't know how much of that you can see. It's coming along. Okay, that's that a bit tidier. So what I'm going to do now is sort of draw a line, try and draw a line, all the way around the edge, trying to keep it the same thickness, and that'll give me a guide, sort of bevel the edge, radius it, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, and if I just get the belt on there, try and carefully go around it. Don't really want to balls it up at this stage. The amount of work I've just put into this. But it's worth the risk, so let's do it. So what I'm going to do with this then, first, my usual trick, losing the lid. Oh, there it is. So, I'm going to go around it. We've got that little gap in this, there, and if I push into that, I don't know if I can see that, push into that, am I in shot? We should be able to radius that. It's easy with a machine, isn't it? Drop it in, press the button, and it pops out done. A little bit boring, so we'll do it this way. Running out of air again. In these corners, I'll just sort of tip the belt that way and get them corners in like so. Let's do a corner. shall continue around that. We'll save a bit of camera battery and microphone battery. I'll get back when it's done. Right, I think we've about got that as good as it's going to be by hand. I don't know if you can make that out. Let's try with the light off, hold on. Is that any better? Less glaring? Anyway, what I want to do now is mark it out, drill it. I'm putting 10 mils through here, countersink in the bottom. Then we'll just put some little like pads on here so it doesn't scratch anyone's surface if it's going on a posh cabinet or anything like that. Probably not. It'll end up in the back of someone's garage on the floor. Right, I'll get that about where we want it. As you can see, that should work out all right. Right, to mark it as best we can, get about where we want it. It's not going to be absolutely perfect. It's not been done on a machine. So I've cut a bit of a 10mm bolt, just a temporary thing, ground a point on it. I'll put that in there. It might give us, in fact, I'll tell you what, let's, black marker pen. We do that, we'll probably see better where we scratch the surface with that bit of bolt. Yeah, I can see that. Should have my glasses on. There we go. I'm just going to mark them up a bit better with this. There we go. Right, I'll go and drill that out. And then, again, there was something else I was waiting for. 10mm countersink. I found some long ones, which I can cut down for now. But I ordered some of them as well and they haven't come. The brass stone deads have come, which I've got here. But not the countersink. I think everyone's struggling at the moment, aren't they? I can't complain. It's like the brass bar. Can't complain with what's going on, can we really? We just gotta be patient and wait for it all to turn up. Right, let me go away and drill them out, and then we'll sort out the light fitting and get that in. And any damage, of course, this Will can tidy it up at the end. It's a bit of a rough and ready paint job, I'm afraid. The next one, I am going to spray it. Right. Again, this is a couple of days later. I've had that many things get in the way and crop up, and things I've had to sort out and go and do. This is turning into, well, it's not going wrong, it's just taking longer than what I thought with other things getting in the way. Anyway, within them few days, we had the brass bar turn up, which is brilliant, which I've already threaded at the ends. I can't even remember how far I got with the plate, so this video is probably going to look a bit stupid, going from doing the plate to not remembering how far I filmed with it. Anyway, the plate's there. You can see it's a bit scruffy at the minute, a lot dirty, but we've sort of radiused all the edges and that. Sorry if I'm repeating myself, I can't remember how far I got. So what I'm going to do, I've decided a couple of things on this. I'm going to repaint it. I'm not happy with the paint. And it's been done over a week and it's still soft, which is ridiculous. And I mixed the paint up properly and everything. It's just old paint. It's been knocking around for a while, so I don't know. I'm going to paint strip it and order a couple of tins of green spray and do it like that. At least it'll go off. But I'm going to do a bit of a sort of a pre-build, dry build, whatever you want to call it, just to make sure everything's going in the right direction. So I'm going to do that now, and also get the little stickers on the tube. It's got a protective sleeve on there at the minute, so we'll peel that off, put the stickers on, and then put that somewhere safe. So let's see how it goes together. Also, what else was there? Tony, a guy who watches the channel, Old Man Tony, Old Man Tony, he has turned me a new wooden handle down, so I'm waiting for that as well. So in the meantime, I am going to strip all this and paint it properly, because I weren't happy with that bit anyway. So let's go for a little trial build. It doesn't matter if I scuff it, scratch it or anything like that now, because the paint's just rubbish. I'm not happy with it. So let's get the light fitting in first. I have also cut a bit out so the cable comes through, and that'll come out between this, the base plate, and this. And I'll probably put a little bit of protective sleeve in there as well. But anyway, I'm no longer going to try and be careful how I handle the damn thing. The paint's coming off, it's rubbish. So I'm not going to put the wires in at this point, because it's pointless. I'll tell you what, it'd be easier if I took that nut off and put that in first, wouldn't it? There we go. But we'll get to see what it looks like anyway, what it's going to look like. So there we go, that's that in. I might shorten that a bit, and the cable will come out there, out the side. So it is looking a bit rough at the minute. Ooh, microphone's going everywhere. Well, let's put the countersinks in there. I don't know if these are long enough. We will see. Right. I think they'll be long enough just. Yeah, it turned into a busy a busy weekend. I had every intention of finishing this, and it didn't go to plan. What does go to plan when you try and finish something off or put time aside for yourself? Right. Now these, I've tapped all these out, that's why they're going in nice and easy. I'm going to take the protective sleeve off this because I want to put the stickers on it. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Let's pop the bulb in so we can get the full effect of what it's going to look like. Is that just spinning? There's probably like a little lock screw to stop that somewhere that I haven't done up. We'll sort that out. And this one goes in the top here. Yeah, I just think the paint went on too thick. Simple as that. It's probably my fault. I ballsed it up, but we're going to correct it. I'll just cover it in paint stripper, strip it all back, get some primer, get some nice dark green, and we'll sort that bit out. At least it will dry. You know what I'm hoping? I've cut this the right damn length. What was going to be just a little quick job's turned into a thing. I put that the right way. Yeah, I have. I'll find a better washer for that. Yeah, so he's turned the wooden handle down in a bit of oak, and it looks cracking on the video. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So, got to decide what I'm doing with that plate. I was going to cut another one out in brass or copper or something like that. But I can't find no brass or copper. So we'll probably just tidy that up a bit. Do it so it's bare metal. Is this locking handle that's got to go on as well? Like I say, this I'm just putting it together to see what's going on. I've got to put that on as well, which I've got to tidy up. And we'll do that with just a lacquered finish. So that would have gone on there on one of the brass uprights, then pulled up. It was just a way of locking the handle. So obviously no one could come and help themselves to oil. Now I think, because all that in bits are on the outside, we'll try and get a little, one of the stickers on there. Oh, that's looking alright though, isn't it? Oh, I suppose it'll make a nice lamp. I'd have that in the house. I might do myself one day. But like I say, I promised to put this one on eBay. So that's where it's going. Definitely need to shorten the tube. And with that, we'll need to shorten the brass a bit. Because that is not locking in like it should. It's too, like this bit's too far up. And it's shortening, oh, it's only about 10 mil as well. So we'll sort that out, it won't take long. By the time I'm putting this back together in new paint, we'll have the wooden handle. And then we'll wire it all in with the cable from the iron. I think that's about it. I'm a bit tired as well. It's been a long day. I don't even know what the time is. 5, 6 o'clock. Boom, boom, boom. Proper static, innit, that Perspex tube. It's definitely all on the inside. Why wouldn't it be? So I can't wipe it. Right, let's have a look at the stickers. There we go, that'll do it. How many of each we got to allow for my mistakes? Need in here to stick them on. Right, let's give it a go. Anyone know how you spell oil? You watch me go and get back to front now. Right, a bit of tape as a guide. That's it. No, don't go wrong. Don't go wrong. Jesus Christ, they stick well. There we go.